Okay. Here we are. We're here.
I think.
Sometimes I'm not so sure, you know.
Might be here.
I mean, these days I'm pretty sure I'm here.
Yeah, most of the time.
I did this experimental piece of theater in LA with a friend of mine called Church of This, where we played these like Southern Baptist characters, but we were trying to lead people in a worship of this.
I love that.
No, you love this.
I love this.
I love this.
Right here.
You know, I was in this like group therapy thing called Mastery and Transformational Training. A friend of mine was like, "You got to do this. You know, I think you need this." And she even like fronted the cash for it. She said, "I'll pay for it." Be good, because I wasn't gonna do it if I had to fork. And afterwards, I was like, "How much money was it? Let me give you the money." And the lady leading the group brought it to my and everybody's attention that we were constantly in a state of going, "This is not it. I don't like this. I want something else," at all times. You know, like, and then you know how the brain is. It's like on this constant annoying loop of, "I don't like this. I prefer that. What I'd like is more of this. I don't like that. I want more of that. None of this. You know, I don't like this."
I'd like to be over there.
Right.
Where those people are doing that.
Yeah. Have
Not
you ever-
here where I'm doing this.
Yeah. And so like she was like, "So I want it to bring that to your attention and to invite you to start going, I want this."
Yeah. I want this.
How do you feel about this? How do you feel about this?
Right now, what we're doing.
Yeah.
I want it.
I want this too.
Yeah.
I want this.
Glad you asked me.
Mr. Will Jameson. How long have you been clean now?
I have been clean for 20 months.
20 months.
Mm-hmm.
Now I got to do math. Like, what is this?
A
1 year and 8 months.
year and 8 months.
Look at that.
Look at this.
We do recover.
We do recover.
She's working today.
At least I think somewhere in that range.
That's incredible.
Mm-hmm.
And is this the longest you've been clean since you started using?
By far.
Yeah, me too.
I made it 30 days one time in treatment.
And then like immediately you were
Used
like,
the day I left. Yeah.
damn.
Might have been the day after the following day, but
Yeah.
other than that, a couple days here or there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is a whole new journey for me,
Yeah.
and everything life can become or has become.
Yeah. I like that thing that Jeremy says, like, if I make this one admission of powerlessness, I open myself up to a life of limitless possibilities.
And I actually believe that.
Me too.
When I do think back, there was a time when I felt so trapped, like it felt like there was only a few ways this would go,
Yeah.
and none of them were good.
Right.
And it's not to say that I'm incredible at all sorts of things, but I have found a lot of things in sobriety that, like, I like doing this.
You fell in love with a lot of stuff in sobriety.
Yeah. Yeah. I fell in love with myself.
And it's like, right, okay. How often were you told, like, you're never going to be able to love somebody until you learn to love yourself?
I feel like I heard that a lot.
And it was like, oh, what does that even mean? That's BS. I mean, like, for the longest time, I low-key hated myself. You know?
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And just being able to, like, look at myself in the mirror and not hate what I'm seeing is huge. That's huge, man. You know what I mean? Like, I can forgive myself today for the little mistakes that I'm going to make. I've made some big mistakes in sobriety that I've had a hard time forgiving myself for, but, you know, in time.
And I found that in loving myself, I forgive those things quicker and I don't hang on to them like I used to.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, and the days of just my constant thought pattern was, I wish I felt better. I want to feel okay. I want to be here. Or I want to feel that way, but I didn't.
You wanted to want to be here.
I wanted to want to be here.
Yeah.
And I've reached this bizarre place I didn't know existed where I don't even think about that stuff anymore. I wake up, it's like, here's what I'm going to do today. I feel good. I mean, it doesn't mean there's not stress, but I look at life differently. I have a totally different perspective where I'm not caught in this continuous loop of, fuck this. I'm just focused on how I feel depressed or I feel anxious or how I'm sad and don't want to do anything. And now I feel like I don't stop doing stuff.
Yeah.
And just to be able to exist in that way, in a way that before didn't feel like I would ever get to that. To be a functioning adult, or my version of a functioning adult. Man, it feels good.
Yeah. I feel you, man. I mean, it's been said 1,000 times, that whole, like, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. That's where it was at the end, you know? I was, like, very, very sick on the inside. I could feel my body, like, revolting against what was happening. But that, like, deep spiritual void, that sickness that's, like, deep down in your spirit, that's just, like, and it's, like, you know, the symptoms are self-loathing, you know, and no energy, no vitality, no desire to, no ability to believe that it's like that I have access to energy to do anything that I want to do, or that I'm going to achieve anything, you know. Yeah, that's, I'm glad we don't have to live like that anymore.
Ever.
Yeah, man. Yeah, what are your hobbies?
Right now I've got there's 2 booths at the Regeneration Station, which is like a antique kind of like
Refurbished
yeah,
antiques?
some stuff's refurbished, some stuff's in its original condition. So just spending a lot of time like working on that. I've also started doing a lot of fly fishing. And even doing that on the weekends with clients. So taking, 7, 8, 9, 10 guys out to the river and doing fly fishing and other things I've been into, doing a lot of hiking. Growing up in Asheville, I have a real affinity for the area and just love spending time
outdoors.
Doing anything outdoors.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I want to get into mountain biking. I feel like I would really enjoy that.
I've been doing a lot of road biking.
Have you?
Yeah, and that's
Where?
something I never did before. I just leave from my house and just go.
Sick.
Yeah.
Do you have a good road bike?
I do. I had a road bike, and recently I traded it for an e-bike. And it's more of a mountain bike. But because it's an e-bike, you don't really notice like the weight on the road. And I can go ride 30 miles in an hour and a half and cover some ground and see a lot and go up on the parkway.
It has an electric motor, so you can zip around.
You can like really fly around. It's a lot of fun. That's like less exercise and more just like
that's fun.
It's Saturday. I want to go cruise the parkway.
Super fun.
And it's a lot more fun than being in a car.
Yeah, dude. That's awesome. I have a motorcycle. I need to fix it. It's been sitting for like a year, and I'm like, I could take it to go have someone fix it, but then I'll never learn how to do this. And I have the time. I haven't ridden it in a year. It's not like I'm going to be out of vehicle and screwed if it doesn't start up. You know what I mean? I may as well go for it. So that's my next like kind of scary project that I'm like excited to jump into. Did you and you golf? You're into golfing as well?
I do golf, yeah.
Did you find fly fishing in recovery?
It's something I did as a kid with my family. Never really got like super deep into it, but like we'd go out to the lake during the summertime and go fly fishing, or up in like the Davidson River. And now it's definitely the most I've done it before, where I'm going like every week almost.
Yeah.
And it's so peaceful and just like meditative.
Yeah.
I would suggest it to anybody that, like, even if you're not a patient person,
Yeah.
it's good for you.
Yeah. I went out there on Saturday. I started fly fishing when I was like 14 or 15 years old, maybe 13, 12 or 13 actually, come to think of it. But I never really fly fished on the East Coast. I'm from the West Coast, so the fish behave differently here. There's different bugs here, you know. I need to get some of those. I was like out there on the water, and I was like, they want whatever that is. I don't have that one.
Yeah, yeah. Man, and really you can catch them with anything.
Well, they weren't biting on anything.
If you get if you get the drift right.
Yeah. Is the Swananova not it's not the best, right? That's not the best place to fish.
It's not bad.
Fuck. Then I just suck at fishing is what it is.
Well, it's not the best.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, but you can catch fish there.
I had one on, and there was like this family watching me, and I got nervous.
Pressure got to you?
Yeah, the pressure got to me, dude. They were like, he's fly fishing. He's got a fish on right now. And then I lost it, and they were like, oh. And I was like, yeah, you know, it happens to the best of us.
Oh, gosh. How's your music going?
Music's going good. You know what I was realizing recently? I'm like, you know, I haven't played out live. Recently, I went to play an open mic. That was my first experience, like, playing live, except for playing for the clients here at Oasis. But, like, I went to this open mic, and I played, and I was like, man, I missed this, you know. But in reality, I'm realizing, like, I wasn't ready, like, until now to play again. You know, because it was such a, like, grind in Los Angeles. You know, you're, like, begging your friends to come out to shows, essentially, you know.
Yeah.
And I had a decent following in L.A., like, small but loyal. People would come out to... But you can only play, like, once a month at the most and expect your whole crowd to come out. You know what I mean? Because there's so much going on in L.A. And that grind and not being able to make money doing it, you know, like... It was kind of heartbreaking sometimes, you know, like as much as I just love to play music, like I wanted that to be my career, you know what I mean? And it's such a hard place to do it in Los Angeles. Like it's so oversaturated with people that just need to play, like me, you know, they needed to play. So, you know, promoters could get away with not really paying them very much, you know, so it's just something that's not really survivable there. Whereas elsewhere in the country, when you play at like a restaurant or a bar or, you know, a small venue or whatever, and you bring a decent number of people, you're going to get paid, you know? And if you do that, like, you know, in expanding circles, you know, and you have like a couple places that you're playing, you know, maybe once, twice a week, that's like a nice little side hustle, you know, and you have something to show for it. You're not losing money by doing the thing that you love, you know?
Yeah.
So anyway, my heart is on the mend. Music is, you know, my longtime mistress, and, you know, I'm married to dreaming with a mistress called music. What's that fella's name that sings that tune? Mr. Misunderstood. Oh, God, it's not going to happen. Not today.
I enjoyed that, though.
Thank you. God, what is his name? Eric Church. I did it. Eric Church has this tune, Mistress Called Music, I think.
You're a big country guy.
I'm not a big country guy. This dude, like, blew my mind. Oh, God. In fact, it was Harrison that showed him to me. We were lifting at the house, and he was like, yo, this is your song right here. And I was like, he's not going to know what my song is, you know? And he played the song, and I was like in tears listening to the song. I'm like, oh, my God, he knows me.
This guy really knows me.
Yeah, man. Sweet, sweet Harrison. So music's going good, yeah. You know, I got this podcast going, you know. So I'm very, like, I'm in a creative flow right now. You know, you were saying like how you have the energy to do the stuff that you love and you're always doing something.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I need to slow myself down because I'm like jujitsu, music, podcast. I get like almost like I get on this roll. I get too much momentum going. It's like a freight train. And then as soon as like the pendulum starts to swing back the other way, I'm like, oh no, you know.
Yeah. Yesterday, I did nothing
What?
for the first time in, I don't know, a month.
What happened?
I decided I needed a day off from doing things.
Well, I mean, what happened when you did nothing?
It was glorious. It was so nice.
Oh my God, that sounds so good.
Just to like rest and take care of myself for a little while. Mm-hmm. Because that's where I'm at. I'm in this, and it comes with the changing of the season. Like the wintertime, just naturally, I just get a little more dormant and closed off. I've been like trying to go to the gym like 5 days a week and working that in there. And
Oh yeah.
gotten into running for the first time since before addiction.
Yeah.
And that's brought back a lot of memories I'd totally forgotten about, like from running on a cross country team and track teams, and that's been really like beautiful. Like getting back into something. That's the first thing I've gotten back into that, like I think I did as a kid that I really loved.
Yep. I know that feeling. I know what you're talking about.
And that's brought back some like some feelings and memories that I'd totally forgotten about.
Yeah.
And that's been really nice. But I did take a break the other day, so
Nice.
throwing that in there is like, gotta do
It's
it.
important, man.
Yeah.
It's important to have a day of rest. I mean, it's biblical, you know.
It was Sunday
There you go. Come on.
for some people.
Come on.
Come on.
Yeah, because when I started doing jujitsu, it was kind of like when I was on the wrestling team in middle school and high school. Like I got back, I got into the jujitsu. I was on the mat. We were listening to like rock and roll. I was smelling that mat,
That
Sweat.
scent of like sweat.
and mat.
Yeah.
And, you know, and I'm just around all these people that are pushing themselves to make themselves better. And I was like, I'm home. I didn't realize that this was like a home that I was missing, but like this is a part of me that I'm reclaiming. You know what I mean? It's one of those gifts of recovery. And then all of these, I like to call like, I had these moments in early sobriety, like 3-6 months into it and forever thereafter in small doses, but like this sensation I like to call the subtle return. And I don't know what it was a return to, but I just remember feeling like I haven't felt like this in a long time. I don't know what this feeling is. You know what I mean? It wasn't like, it was just a feeling of being here right now and being alive and being fully present for what was happening. Like the window was down. I'm driving in the car, not going anywhere in particular. And then that realization that like, because I'm free and because I'm fully in ownership of my life, I could go anywhere right now. I have the money and the gas in my tank to go anywhere that I want to. I'm probably just going to go home, but like I'm free, I'm here, and I'm sober. Like I haven't felt this strange feeling, this like incalculable feeling in years. And that like subtle return to yourself is like, fuck, like you can't, I wish you could bottle it and give it to people and be like, listen, this, you remember this?
That feeling you're talking about, for me, the thought process I've had behind that, because you're right, that feeling just hits you like subtly and just like every now and then. It's not like something I wish I could just harness it, but that's maybe this wouldn't be the human experience anymore.
Right.
But the thought process I have around that feeling is it reminds me that I'm the same person I've always been. Like, this is the same body that I was a child in. Like, I grew up in this body. I was born in this. Like, this is all the same life. And there's just been times where I've been so lost in life, I never thought I would return to, like, feeling like Will again, maybe. And And so I do have that feeling now, like, and it hits me harder than others sometimes. And it's in those moments where you like are brought back to a memory from something you experienced before, a smell, a sight, a thing, an activity, a song. And just remembering that, like, this is the fucking precious body and life that I've always existed in, and I'm really here right now, and I'm okay.
This is the place from whence I experience reality in all of its glory.
Yeah.
This is the body that I experience joy in, that I experience disappointment, triumph, victory.
Yeah.
I don't think we're going to top that, bro.
No, I think we should be done.
I'm hip to that. I love you, dude. Thank you so much for doing this.
I love you. Thank you for having me on here.
Come on.